What if I told you that Apple may have just made one of the strangest moves in years? What are some of the most loved Apple products, products people actually use every single day, were quietly left behind with no updates, no upgrades, and no explanations? Today, we're diving into the real story behind Apple TV, AirTags, and the HomePod Mini. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be asking the same question the entire Apple community is asking right now. What on earth is going on at Apple? So here we are. November 13th has passed. The rumors were loud. The leaks were confident. Mark Gurman, one of the most trusted Apple reporters, told us Apple was gearing up for new releases this November. And yet nothing happened. No new Apple TV. No new AirTag. No new HomePod. Just silence. And for millions of Apple fans, that silence was louder than any announcement. Let's be clear here. These weren't small whispers. Gurman said stock levels were dropping. He said new hardware was imminent. He hinted at late November dates. He reported Apple was preparing for announcements around November 11th and 12th. Many people expected an event, or at least a quiet press release. But instead of new devices, Apple only announced holiday deals and seasonal marketing. Nothing more. If you feel disappointed, you're not alone. Even content creators who reported on these leaks are frustrated. They built videos, they analyzed rumors, they followed the reporting. The community trusted the information. And when nothing arrived, everyone felt let down. Because these products desperately need updates. Each one. Let's start with the Apple TV. It's still running the A15 chip. And yes, the A15 is fast. Yes, it's stable. Yes, it's capable. But Apple usually refreshes its devices often. They update iPhones every year. MacBooks nearly every year. iPads too. But the Apple TV? Nothing. And now, we're heading toward 2026. That would make the current model several years old. And here's the important part. The Apple TV cannot run Apple Intelligence features. Not a single one. For that, it needs at least an A17 Pro or an A18. So while the rest of the Apple ecosystem moves towards smarter features, the Apple TV is stuck, frozen in time. And users who want AI integration in their entertainment hardware, they're out of luck. Now let's talk about a product that many people depend on every day, the AirTag. Released in 2021, and at the time, it was an incredible device. A simple, brilliant idea, but it hasn't been updated in 5 years. And that's a major issue. Because we all know the AirTag has been involved in serious controversies. People have modified them, disabled the speakers, used them for tracking in harmful ways. When a tiny device becomes a security problem, it needs attention. Apple's U2 chip is now in newer iPhones, offering better accuracy. But AirTags still run the old U1. If there was ever a product that needed a second generation, stronger security, better tracking, harder to misuse, it's this one. And still, no update. And now, the HomePod Mini, released in 2020. It runs the S5 chip. Yep, the chip from the Apple Watch Series 5. Apple Watch chips aren't weak, but they're not designed for modern AI audio tasks. We're now approaching S11 chips, yet the HomePod Mini is still stuck on S5. Apple released new colors years ago, but no new features, no new hardware. With Apple Intelligence slowly rolling out, wouldn't a refreshed HomePod Mini with a modern chip make sense? Wouldn't Apple want to push their smart home ecosystem forward? Instead, it feels like the HomePod Mini was forgotten on the shelf. So what happened with all three of these products? How did the Apple TV, AirTags, and the HomePod Mini all miss their expected refresh window? Was it strategy? Was it supply chain? Internal decisions? Or did the leaks simply go wrong? We may never know for sure. But the timing is strange. Very strange. The only new product Apple released recently was a pair of extremely expensive designer socks. Yes, socks. A luxury item made in collaboration with a Japanese brand. And while they look interesting, they're more of a collector's novelty than a meaningful Apple release. Most people won't spend that kind of money on Apple-branded socks. And those who like the design will probably buy a look-alike version for a tiny fraction of the price. Let's be honest, but here's where things get serious. Because all three devices approaching 5 years with no UPDA. tells us something important. Either Apple is holding back on purpose, preparing for a major upgrade cycle in 2026, or they have shifted priority away from these categories temporarily. And considering the rise of Apple Intelligence, the partnership discussions with Google Gemini, and the focus on AI integration across devices, it might be that Apple is restructuring its hardware path. Maybe they want these three products to launch alongside a fully supported Apple Intelligence experience. Maybe the delay is strategic, but the frustration in the community is real. People want the Apple TV to get modern performance. People want the AirTag to become safer and more advanced. People want the HomePod Mini to get a modern chip and smarter features. These are not niche products. These are mainstream, everyday items. And the fact that they've gone untouched this long is worrying. Creators feel the pressure, too. When leaks come from reliable sources and seem solid, people share them. People make videos. People discuss them. When those leaks turn out inaccurate, it hurts trust. It wastes time. It creates confusion. And viewers feel misled, even when creators are simply reporting the information available. That's why it's disappointing to see this situation happen again. But despite all this, there is still hope, because the pattern hints at something big coming in early 2026. If Apple skipped 2025 entirely, it means the next update could be significant. A much stronger Apple TV, possibly with a 18 or even a 18 Pro power. A redesigned, more secure AirTag with better anti-stalking protections and a new UWB chip. A new HomePod Mini with a powerful S-Series chip ready for Apple Intelligence. If that happens, Apple could revive these product lines in a major way. So until then, all we can do is wait. Hope Apple listens. Hope they realize that these devices matter, that people rely on them, and that they deserve love, updates, and attention. Whether you want smarter tracking, better smart home audio, or next-level Apple TV experience, the future depends on Apple making the right move. And here's my honest opinion. I think Apple delayed these updates intentionally. Not because the products don't matter, but because Apple Intelligence is the real focus. They want every new device in 2026 to support AI from day one. They want a cleaner lineup, a smarter ecosystem. And while the wait is frustrating today, the upgrades in 2026 may be worth it. If Apple delivers bold updates, they could refresh the entire experience of these three categories in one single wave. But until then, we keep watching, we keep waiting, and we keep hoping Apple doesn't forget the products that everyday users love most. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.